The next expansion for Stronghold Warlords, the Mongol Empire is a new campaign DLC recreating Kublai Khan's exploits in China during the middle of the 13th century. This new DLC has been released alongside version 1.6, a free update for all players which adds the Kublai Khan AI opponent, 3 new maps, 10 achievements, and new voice lines for Mongolian units. The DLC itself comes with a new campaign to play through, as well as 2 new warlord archetypes, each with new unique perks and edicts to command on the battlefield.
Your taxes have been paid.
For players interested in additional sieges, skirmishes, and famous historical battles, the Mongol Empire campaign tells a thrilling story, while also challenging those stronghold instincts and tactics honed after years of play. Meanwhile, the free update, which is now live with version 1.6, increases the roster of overall AI opponents and playable maps in skirmish mode, with the addition of Kublai Khan and 3 all-new maps.
Khans know only attack, with horses or without.
Now, as a heavy troop specialist, it's probably best to expect the worst when it comes to approaching attacks from the grandson of Genghis Khan. Used to the finer things in life and thus sticking to expensive, powerful armies with which to wage his infamous skirmishes, Kublai Khan is always playing the long game. A heavy reliance on Imperial class units including crossbowmen, Imperial warriors, cavalry, generals, fire lancers, and of course, horse archers, means that Kublai Khan is dependent on an elaborate economy with which to support his war efforts. This economy uses rice farms, tea and clothing, along with various weapon workshops, necessary to equip that impressive army of his. What I'm saying is, it's time to get Bessie and her pals ready. Because as soon as you see one of these buildings, it's time to sacrifice a few fire oxen for the greater good. Give him enough time to build up and Kublai Khan will hit your castle walls like a hammer. This means that a quick plan for your wartime economy and some early attacks are almost certainly the way to go. Likewise, his siege engines actually lean away from ladders and towers, toward the more destructive options in his stronghold arsenal. Expect then mortars, mantlets, rocket launchers, hwacha and trebuchets all out in full force, with a clear intent to blow apart your castle walls. Beginning in China with the Siege of Dali in 1253, the Mongol Empire campaign is designed to teach you even more Mongolian military history, while also challenging veterans of the series in the process. Taking players from the Siege of Wuhan through to tales of civil war, skirmishes against the Song dynasty and more, the Mongol Empire provides 6 new historical missions set within the narrative of Kublai Khan's exploits in China. Supplementing the 31 mission campaign available in the Stronghold Warlords base game, this new campaign will span 15 years of military conflict, ending with the establishment of the Yuan dynasty.
Another warlord has seen fit to offer us his services.
As Kublai Khan's story progresses, players can expect a unique set of maps with fresh tactical scenarios and objectives to overcome. As part of this new campaign, the Mongol Empire DLC introduces 2 completely new controllable AI warlords, which can be used in skirmish mode and multiplayer. Up first we have the Monkey Warlord, who's all about surprising your enemy with unpredictable tactics and sudden castle breaches. The most obvious way he goes about doing this is by mimicking other warlords' abilities. That's right, the Monkey Warlord's perk allows him to choose a perk from another warlord on the map at random. This also resets each time the monkey is captured, meaning players can't simply claim your monkey in hopes of nabbing a particularly useful perk. This also means if you don't like the monkey's perk, you can sacrifice him, recapture, and roll the dice again. And if there are only monkey warlords on the map, well, in that case our Simian strategist will choose a perk from one of the 8 original warlords, meaning an even larger pool to choose from. When it comes to his edict commands, the Monkey Warlord can provide wood shipments to boost your economy, but also send out small auxiliary unit attacks to harass the enemy. Perhaps his most useful edict, however, comes in the form of the Ladderman Relief Force. This allows you to spawn Ladderman units near enemy castles. Just like in Planet of the Apes, your human foes will have no idea what hit them.
Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape!
The Peacock Warlord, meanwhile, is all about that digital catwalk, with a perk that not only increases popularity from clothing, but also gives your peasants brand new duds. As the saying goes, new warlord, new me. While a Peacock Warlord is under your control, expect your subjects, including those unemployed peasants, to adopt this dashing ancient Chinese design. It might not be a job, granted, but it might give them a better shot at that next interview.
Going straight back to work, Highness.
In terms of edicts, the Peacock Warlord can donate precious silks to the player, supporting your clothing resource chain and eventually boosting popularity. But that's not all. The Peacock can also send hugely valuable gold shipments, in case you're in need of particularly expensive castle defences or mercenary class units from the Academy. Finally, we have the Imperial Bannerman Relief Force. This edict will send impressive units in their own right, also capable of buffing your existing army when you're in need of some extra protection.
要我怎么效劳？
3 new skirmish maps also make their debut in version 1.6, including a large type map as requested by the community. Kings and Mountains is balanced for a 4-way face-off between, you guessed it, 4 players, with the ability for any of these illustrious lords to rule safely from the comfort of their keep. Players must decide between buttressing their natural defences, turtling and using the 4 available warlords to play the long game, or alternatively to go on the offensive, boldly venturing forth in the early stages of a game to secure dominion over their enemies. Entrenched offers a head-to-head scenario in the form of an unbalanced map for 2 players. With 3 warlords as well as plentiful resources and ample build space, this map provides what have proven to be popular map features. Positioning, as always, is key here, with players allowed to either battle from the high ground across multiple fronts, or to stay more grounded, with fewer tactical opportunities, but only one side from which to defend themselves. Last but certainly not least, we have Distributary, another triple threat map for 3 players with 4 warlords available. Once again, open grounds allow for a generous build area and unique castle designs, separated by 3 river crossings. To survive, each player will need to build, reinforce, and defend large sections of castle wall, in order to defend their lands and hold off potential incursions from 2 separate fronts. So there you have it, both version 1.6 and the separate Mongol Empire campaign DLC are now available for players to download on Steam and GOG. Now do remember that more free updates are of course on the way as part of our recently revealed content roadmap for Stronghold Warlords, covering the summer and autumn months. Beyond this, we can't say what comes next. However, we are paying close attention to player feedback and we'll be factoring this into future updates, DLC, and of course future entries in the series. As with both our Art of War and Mongol Empire DLCs, you can expect any future DLC to include a substantial free component like new AI and maps, giving all players something to enjoy in offline skirmish mode or when going head-to-head online. But for now, please enjoy our new AI opponent and maps with version 1.6, with the Mongol Empire campaign also available to wishlist or purchase for owners of the base game on Steam and GOG.